What's up, fight fans? Welcome back to K with Kyle. I'm your host, Kyle. Today we'll be doing a double recap of UFC Fight Night Michael Chiesa versus Neil Magny, as well as UFC 257 Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. There's a lot of fights to break down, so I'll try to be brief, especially with the prelims. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Starting off Wednesday, January 20th's card, which aired in the morning, we had Victoria Leonardo versus Manon Figuereto. Figuereto landed some heavy shots round 1. In round 2, Figuereto landed a head kick into a TKO finish. Next at bantamweight, we had the debut of the undefeated Umar Nurmagomedov versus Sergey Morozov. Umar started by throwing kicks. He then leaned into his wrestling and secured takedown after takedown. He transitioned into taking the back and then finished the fight by rear naked choke. Next at lightweight, we had Mason Jones versus Mike Davis. This ended up being really close and fight of the night. Mason Jones was undefeated, coming in as the Cage Warriors champion of 155 and 170 pounds. Davis landed a takedown and then another. Jones had a better round 2 with his striking. The fight went the distance and the judges scored it a split decision win for Mike Davis. Next at flyweight, we had the brother of flyweight champ Francisco Figuereto versus Jerome Rivera. Figuereto landed takedowns in round 1 and 2. He had top control much of that fight. The fight went the distance and the judges scored a unanimous decision win for Francisco Figuereto. Next at middleweight, we had Dolce Bula versus Marcus Perez. Dolce was on top for a lot of round 1. Both had their moments. Dolce got in some ground and pound in round 2. The fight went the distance and the judges scored it a unanimous decision win for Dolce Bula. Next at flyweight, we had Sumadarji versus Zaruk Adashev. Su was controlling the center of the octagon. Su had the reach advantage. Both were throwing low leg kicks. Adashev was landing more in round 2. Su kept distance well in round 3. The fight went the distance and the judges scored it a unanimous decision win for Sumadarji. Next at bantamweight, we had Ricky Simone versus Gaetano Piorello. Simone's right hand was landing early. Simone got a takedown round 1. Simone got a body lock takedown round 2, then a scoop slam takedown into full mount, then finished with an arm triangle choke. Next at middleweight, we had Omari Ahmedab versus Tom Breeze. Tom Breeze was on his back attempting submissions round 1. Ahmedab worked hard for a takedown round 2, then ended up on top after an awkward submission attempt. Ahmedab finished the fight by arm triangle submission. Next at featherweight, we had Larone Murphy versus Douglas Silva de Andradge. Murphy won on striking round 1. Murphy landed some low leg kicks. Silva de Andrade had a better round 3, but the judges scored it a unanimous decision win for Larone Murphy. Next at flyweight, we had Matt Schnell versus Tyson Nam. It was pretty evenly matched, with Schnell landing harder shots in the exchanges. Schnell round 1, then pretty even rounds 2 and 3. The judges scored it a split decision win for Matt Schnell. Next at women's flyweight, we had Roxanne Modafferi versus Viviane Araujo. Araujo was outstriking in round 1. In rounds 2 and 3, she landed a level change takedown. The fight went the distance and the judges scored it a unanimous decision win for Viviane Araujo. Next at light heavyweight, we had Ike Villanueva versus Vinicius Moreira. Moreira was throwing low leg kicks round 1. Early into round 2, Villanueva lands an overhand right that knocks out Moreira. In the co-main event at welterweight, we had Munir Lazzez versus Warley Alves. Warley came out strong. He put Lazzez in against the cage and kicked Lazzez 3 times in the ribs. That dropped Lazzez and Alves won by TKO. In the main event at welterweight, we had Michael Chiesa versus Neil Magny. Chiesa gets a body lock takedown round 1 and then ends the round on top. Chiesa continues to out-wrestle and secure takedowns each round. Chiesa finished the fight in full mount. The judges scored it a unanimous decision win for Michael Chiesa. I missed Wednesday's card live, but I made some money betting on Michael Chiesa and on a 3-leg parlay with Villanueva, Simone, and Sumadarji. Next, let's go over some fights from UFC 257, starting with the prelims. Starting off the night at flyweight, we had Amir Albazi versus Zhalgas Zhumagulov. Albazi got a takedown round 1. Zhalgas was loading up shots but was just out of range. Zhalgas got a takedown himself, but Albazi secured another takedown. The judges scored it a unanimous decision win for Amir Albazi. Next, at a catchweight of 150 pounds, we had Nick Lentz versus Movsar Evloev. Evloev was in trouble early with a guillotine submission attempt from Lentz. Evloev had a better round 2. In round 3, Lentz was gassed. The judges scored it a split decision win for Movsar Evloev. Next at light heavyweight, we had Khalil Roundtree versus Marcin Prachnio. Heavy kicks from Roundtree early. Roundtree hurt Prachnio badly with a counter hook. Prachnio was more active in round 3. The judges scored it a unanimous decision win for Marcin Prachnio. Next at women's bantamweight, we had Juliana Pena versus Sarah McMahon. McMahon got a takedown early. She gassed later in the fight as Pena got a takedown and won by submission. Next at middleweight, we had Brad Tavares versus Antonio Carlos Jr. Antonio was trying to get a takedown most of round 1, but Tavares was stuffing the attempts. Tavares landed some heavy shots. The fight went the distance, and the judges scored an unanimous decision win for Brad Tavares. Next at lightweight, we had Arman Tsarukyan versus Matt Frivola. Tsarukyan was able to land multiple takedowns throughout the fight. Tsarukyan landed some ground and pound. The fight went the distance, and the judges scored it a unanimous decision win for Arman Tsarukyan. Next at strawweight, we had Marina Rodriguez versus Amanda Hebus. Hebus had a good round 1 with a takedown and some ground and pound. In round 2, Rodriguez landed a right hand on the chin of Hebus. Herb Dean steps in to stop the fight, but doesn't and lets it continue. Rodriguez landed a few more strong shots before Herb Dean actually stopped it. Next at middleweight, we had Andrew Sanchez versus Mahmoud Muradov. It was evenly matched early. Muradov was throwing varied strikes. A hook to the ear rocked Sanchez, and Muradov was able to finish for the TKO win. Next at women's flyweight, we had Jessica Ai versus Joanne Calderwood. I said in my forecast episode that I picked Calderwood, but would only bet the over 2.5 rounds. Well, the over hit. The fight went the distance. Calderwood outstruck Ai overall and landed some knees and dirty boxing in the clinch. The judges scored it a unanimous decision win for Joanne Calderwood. In our co-main event at lightweight, we had Michael Chandler versus Dan Hooker. Hooker was circling away. Chandler attacked the body, followed by a big left hook that dropped Hooker. Chandler was able to finish by round 1 TKO in his UFC debut. In our main event at lightweight, we had Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. Conor had a good round 1, landing some jabs and some heavy left hands. Dustin was attacking the lead leg with calf kicks. The calf kicks added up quickly, and by round 2, Conor's leg was already dead. Conor never checked one leg kick. Dustin unloaded a flurry of shots that put Conor against the cage, then landed a right hand that dropped Conor. Poirier finished by round 2 TKO. Fun fights to start off 2021. A lot of underdogs have been winning. There were memes galore about Dana White cracking down on illegal streamers. That's ultimately a losing battle, but Dana scared at least a few people into buying the pay-per-view. UFC 257 sold 1.6 million pay-per-views, which is good for the UFC lately, but less than Conor versus Khabib. Dana was really hoping to make that rematch, but it looks like Khabib is done for good. The next UFC event is a fight night on February 6th. Alistair Overeem versus Alexander Volkov. I will be doing a forecast the week of the event, so please subscribe so you never miss our timely content. And until next time, fight fans, peace.